Did you get weaker or are you just tired? Now, there's an inevitability in strength training, and that's that eventually your progress stops becoming so linear. At the beginning of your lifting journey, you're going to be able to put weight on the bar pretty much every training session and get stronger tangibly session over session. Anybody who's been lifting for an appreciable amount of time knows that eventually that stops and your trend line might still be upward, but there's going to be peaks and valleys. There are going to be days where you feel great and the weight on the bar is going to be able to go up. But then there will be days, maybe even multiple days or weeks in a row, where you see a subtle downtrend in the amount of weight that you're able to use. And a lot of the lifters that I coach get a little bit uptight about that, reasonably so. They're working very hard and the weight on the bar is getting less. They have to use less weight on the bar for the same RPE assignment or rep range or whatever it is. And they automatically assume, oh, I'm getting weaker. Now, the legendary Greg Panora has said you can't possibly get weaker from strength training. And while it might not actually be that simple, something that it's important to remember as a lifter and something important to remember as a coach to tell your lifters is that fatigue masks fitness. This is a phrase that I heard very early in my coaching career, and it still rings true. You're not able to show your true strength potential until you let fatigue come down appreciably via some sort of deload or a tapering process or whatever you might do. Typically you see the week before a powerlifting meet, a powerlifter will reduce their training load quite a bit because they've built up all this fatigue in their peaking block. And the only way that they're going to be able to set PRs on the platform is to rest and recover. Doing more training closer to a meet is not the right answer because you're going to be carrying all that fatigue. But the thing is, it's fatigue that builds up your strength. We induce fatigue on purpose via training so that you can rest, recover from it, and come back stronger. But it's not a one-to-one ratio. It's not like, okay, I did a heavy squat session on this day. I'm going to sleep 8 hours tonight, come back in the gym tomorrow, and I'm going to be able to squat a PR that day. No, it's not quite as cut and dry as that. It takes more time. There are more variables to manage. And I think a well-designed training program induces just enough fatigue to raise your level of fitness, and then at the right time reduces that level of fatigue by removing some of that workload so that your performance will increase. And you have to ask yourself, when do I need to be my best? For most people who are competing in powerlifting, it's not every day. You do not have to be at your best level of performance every day. All that matters is your performance on the platform. So within a given training block, especially if you're very far away from a powerlifting meet, you can be fatigued and you can have your numbers go down a little bit and be just fine. Realize that you're still on the right track because you're inducing that fatigue on purpose. You're working very hard, you're lifting heavy, you're doing a lot of sets and reps, you're doing all your accessory exercises, and all that collectively is going to build up your overall strength. You just have to pull back that workload at the right time so that you can realize your true potential and do your best when it matters the most. If you find yourself getting quote unquote weaker within a training block, ask yourself, am I actually getting weaker or am I just tired from all the work that I'm doing? And the answer is you're probably just tired. And as long as you're not too tired to the point where you feel sick or you get injured, that's probably more into the overtraining realm of things, which is very rare to accomplish in and of itself. But just realize you're probably just tired. You're probably on the right track anyways. Go ahead, show up to the gym and work hard.